and welcome to the Naleo TV County Council Candidate Podcast. Here to inform you of your options ahead of our August 8th primary election. I'm your host, Mokana Waikiki, and I'm here with candidate for District 6, Guy Enriquez. Aloha, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Aloha, very well, thank you.
How was the drive-in? Feeling okay?
Nice, beautiful day.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, let's jump right in. Tell us about yourself and what motivated you to run for Hawaii County Council.
Well, basically born and raised in Punalu'u, graduated Ka'u High School, played basketball for University of Hawaii Hilo for a little bit, got my education on the mainland, did some work up there in teaching, came home, run volleyball camps is my big source of profession, so to speak. I am running because I care a lot about our community and the people who live in District 6. I want to really help improve how our people work, live, play, and raise our families in what I think is the most beautiful place. And we're so fortunate to be in District 6.
Oh, I love that. Yes, Ka'u is so incredibly beautiful,
yes.
but also the entire district. We were talking about how massive it is, right? Let's dive a little bit deeper. You talked about being a coach, an educator, and a long history of community service. Let's look at what are the values that guide specifically your decision making, and how would that shape the work that you do on the council?
Well, for one, I've been a former councilman almost 20 years ago, so
wow.
that's going to help me with some at least experience in what I'm going to be facing. I think all of the leadership skills that I have has come from all the things that I've done.
Okay.
Like I own and run and have founded the largest team volleyball camp on the West Coast.
Wow,
This summer will be my 40th year, and we'll have anywhere from up to 90 to 100 high school teams attend every summer, and I hire a good 50 to 60 coaches every summer.
Wow.
So that leadership role over years have given me a lot of experience. I've also had the pleasure of coaching Oregon State women's volleyball program, a D1 program, which I took from the bottom of the Pac-10 at the time to a top 25 ranking, in which I got a Pac-10 Coach of the Year award.
Wow.
And that was my first really leadership type of skills, where you had a budget of a couple $1 million and you had to make that program work from bottom to top. And that has given me a lot of confidence in leading. Total coaching years is 48 years. I just spent the last maybe 22, 23 years at Kamehameha School leading that program. And I've also founded here on the Big Island in Hilo the Hawaii Island Labor Day Classic, and it's to bring sports tourism into the Big Island, and as well as to grow the volleyball community. So what we have, like this year, we have a team coming as far as Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, Oregon, not Washington, but we have about 22 teams coming in from the mainland this Labor Day that will be inundated in here, along with the top 10 of the Hawaii teams battling. So the idea was to bring more boost to this economy on the sports level, and the goal is to do that with the boys also. But these are leadership stuff that I do a lot of leadership stuff at home in working with youth kids, and I live at Punalu'u, Black Sand Beach. So we also own a lay stand down there where we center education products on the beach, education classes for like Kamehameha School kids, Pahala kids, Volcano School of Arts. But anybody who wants to come and learn about the place, I'm there for them.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for all of your service and uplifting the youth and the future of tomorrow. Let's jump into that a little bit, right? So we hear pretty consistently across Hawaii Island in the past 10 years that we're exporting our keiki, where our youth are leaving Hawaii and then they're not able to come back. What are the things that you feel like realistically the county could invest in to not only have our haumana and our opio stay here, but to have them come back if they go off to college or things like that and build their futures here in Hawaii?
Well, I'm one of those kids that left, right? But I don't have a problem with that, kids leaving, because I think it's a good thing. And people might not agree with me, but I'm the example. You go out, you learn a different place. You learn a different culture. You learn how to speak well. You learn how to do things better. You learn a skill. And you have more to offer when you come back. There's always a way to come back. You see kids go out to a different school and they spend a year and they come back. They come back. Because what I found, and I wasn't the reason I came back, by the way. It was my wife who said, Guy, I want our kids to grow up the way you did and get what you got. And I saw the same thing. But you find a way to come back. And if this is home, it'll always be home. But it would be great, I think, to let our kids go out, gain some different experience. And it could be just a year of school. But when they come back, they'll be better for it. You know? And they'll realize, wow, we live in such a great place.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, and you don't know it unless you leave it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm not against this guys leaving, but we do have to address the things that we need for our kids to move into. Absolutely. Especially in this new AI world where, things are going to be different.
Absolutely.
And how we prepare for that is going to be a real good question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm not opposed to kids leaving.
I think that when we talk about that, right, we also hear things like priced out of paradise come into those conversations. So let's talk a little bit about that. Housing affordability remains one of the biggest concerns for people on this island. What actions can the county realistically take to increase housing opportunities on our island?
Well, I think I can only talk really about Ka'u because, I've been out of the politics scene. But we have county lands, state lands, OHA lands that are available for builds. And right next to my neighborhood is like a whole lot of land that OHA, give it to the Hawaiians and let's start building. And that's the one thing, the Hawaiians been waiting a lot. They've been for their land. And I know a lot of families that have been waiting for years and have passed away and not get their land.
Absolutely.
So if there's a way for me in the county to push giving the land to the people, and even if they let them figure a way to develop it. If it doesn't have water, let them figure a way. Put a catchment inside, but give them a chance to live on their land before they pass away. But there's also county land, state land that's available, that's not being used. If we got that land, then let's make it available to build and bring the right kind of builder who's going to build affordable homes. And you got developers all over the place, but they're building more touristy stuff. If they are, then they got to match that with affordable homes required. Absolutely. But just small thoughts.
No, absolutely. I think one of the things that comes into that, right, is our permitting process. That is something that people bring up a lot. Like, it's hard to get through the process of building a home and then getting stuck in that permitting process. What is one county process, policy, or regulation that you feel like should be improved or modernized?
Well, my wife is a realtor. She works with a lot of builders. And this is a kudos right now because the first time she told me this, I was like, wow. There was 2 different builders that she had talked to that says, wow, this is the first time our building permits have really actually moving through. We're actually getting stuff where we can get permits. And so I happened to talk to somebody and I said, why does this happen in the county? I forgot who I talked to, but he says, well, how did we do it? And he says, well, we just hired more people to do the process. So I think some of that is being addressed as far as the permitting, and it was a simple solution of just hiring more people to get through the process. So if we need to do those kind of things, hey, boom, let's go do it.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think I already see some real positive stuff outside there with the building process. It might not be where we want to be yet, but it sounds like it's moving in the right direction.
I hope so. That sounds really exciting to hear. Okay, let's talk about that. So the county just came out with their budget, and their projections include a budget shortfall in the coming year. So we have less money and more need. How would you set priorities, and would you consider raising taxes or fees?
No, nobody's happy about raising taxes and fees, but it might just be a way. I mean, I haven't really sat down and thought about how one might do that, but I am sure open to any avenue of discussion on that. We definitely going to be a shortfall, especially like in where I live, they're doing the sewer plants and stuff like that. I mean, we're so far behind. Every administration previously has just kicked the can down the road, and finally, this mayor is doing something about it, and that's going to drain because that's huge. And then not just that, it's got Na'alehu's in the same kind of thing where the old plantation, we're on gang cesspools. So it's going to cost us a lot of money. We will be in a shortfall, so there's going to have to be a lot of conversations, and I can't pinpoint one, but tax is certainly going to be in those conversations.
I think it's important to talk, Story, too, about the places that you mentioned, but just the district as a whole, right? It's very much classified as a rural community. It's farther out from Hilo Town and Kona Town. So how could the county improve access to essential services and infrastructure in rural communities? How do you want to make meaningful progress on that in your term?
Meaningful progress one at a time. What I've been doing is, again, our district runs on Volcano, South Kona to Tashima's restaurant. That's 1/3 of the island.
Massive.
And in that 1/3 of the island, there's probably 14 or 15 different communities with different needs, different flood issues,
Absolutely.
Different stuff. So I've been pounding the streets and trying to build a project list.
Okay.
And then once I get that project list, my goal is to find the people who can get those projects done, bring them together, especially the ones who have influence to get it done. This is my experience from being in the county. And then the next thing I'm going to do is going to take that project list. When I get elected, I'm going to put it on a monthly platform where I'm going to tell you whether this project is moving, stalled, if it's stalled, why, and what's next. So I'm going to hold myself publicly accountable to this project list that I went to the communities to talk about. And the last thing is to just guide them, shepherd them, ride shotgun them until I produce real and visible results. But when we talked about infrastructure, for example, priorities, flooding, Ka'u, any big rain now, we got not just one place, but two places. And I thought we fixed it. So many people have come by and fixed it, but we haven't. So that's a priority. South Kona, we need infrastructure big time over there. But anyway, I know you want to go to the next one. Let's do it.
No, please. I would love to hear about the infrastructure needs that you're seeing in your district.
Well, I might mistake this for infrastructure, but one of my biggest goals, I'm an athlete, I'm a coach. South Kona needs one of Billy Kinoy's play courts.
Okay.
So that's the goal. I'm going to push for one over there. They have one in Waimea. That's used all the time. They have one in Panaea, but you can't even get in there. Mm-hmm. You have one in Pahoa. Yep. And then our Ka'u kids used to go to Pahoa to play. South Kona has a lot of kids over there. They deserve a place like the Billy Kinoy play courts. And there's a place down by below McDonald's, Clarence One Lum Park as a possibility. And there's also some hopefully private land might be donated. But we're working, I hope to work on that and really push through because South Kona deserves that.
That's amazing. Yeah, I didn't know that about South Kona not having one of those play courts.
They have nothing because of the flood. The Kona Waina gym's out.
Oh, wow.
The Old A gym is out. Yep. There is nothing. But even if there were, the travel distance over there with the traffic is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Single road, people from over there coming this way.
I can imagine it would just make it hard to get there, and Ohana's already have a lot on their plate. Our time has run by so incredibly fast. We are on our end.
What, you said 3 questions?
I really, really appreciate you taking the time coming down. Good luck on this upcoming season, and on your candidacy.
Sure.
Mahalo everybody for watching. I've been Makana Waikiki. Off we go.